Hoyoto. Today, I would like to talk to you about criticism, corrections, and how to correct them with class. All good things, as grandmother used to say, come in little groups of 3. Alle gute Dinge kommen in kleine Dreierpack. Also reden wir heute über Kritik, Korrekturen und wie man dies gesamte Prozedere mit Klasse ertragen. You'll notice that I don't have my normal weapon to greet you with. Die Begrüßung ist heute ohne mein Gartengerät, because one of the criticisms I have received for these talks is that my favorite prop is rather violent. So to show that I know how to think about criticism, I brought along today my little Teflon flipper from the kitchen that won't hurt anybody, and you can still pretend that you are hunting dragons with it. So we have our legato ready for the session. As I am talking to you, I really suggest you already get yourselves nicely awake by making sure you are in contact with all the vibrating bits of your face, alle vibrierende Optionen des Gesichtes. And seeing that the other thing I have to correct, I've had criticism about what I said about the a vocal, the a vowel last week. So let's make sure we feel to correct my a. We must find a nice bright that will flow on a vowel. And the way to correct that is very simple. I have gone into the little Der kleine Hai, little very old German books that gives you suggestions how to correct and practice vowels. The first thing to know about the a vowel is that it is bright. And before we get into an a vowel, because it is very early in the morning, let us start with the most primitive vowel we all have of all nationalities, is an a vowel. This is the first vowel a baby can say. This Ohrvokal ist ein a. So I maintain it is easy to fix my ugly a vowel by starting with a nice bright ah, even though it is very early in the morning. So if you don't find your ah vowel easily, start with a ya, and we feel all the vibrating sections of the helpful face. There's where the brain is hiding, and we go ya and change it into an hey, ya. The little Bible that I read about vowels says specifically that the difference between an a vowel and a good healthy a vowel is that there should be more space in your mouth. Unterschied zwischen a und a, beide hell, einfach mehr Platz in der Mundhöhle. Das heißt, your jaw should be completely relaxed. Back to that. That's why we are working at energizing the whole of the face, because if anything gets stuck somewhere, your vowels are going to sound like that as well. So we start with the thinking bit of the face, and we go, I do like A flat. Find it, making sure you're feeling the sun, and go, yeah. Ah, I felt it, no? Just to yawn into it gently. 1, 2 is on the cheekbones, the whole of the cheekbones, not constipated in the nose. And we go, breathe. Yeah, and yawn gently gently into an E without going flat, 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 flat. So we're on the cheekbones, and then we feel under the cheekbones. That is going to help you make sure that the jaw is relaxed. So you can work the jaw against these for the third round of and if you think you have a good air vowel, hold it and standard check that the vowel is setting properly. A bounce, 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 bounce. Yeah, make sure that the rest of the body is working too. You got that, and then we all have this fabulous jaw. It's also very good to help against gravity, giving you 30 double chins. Feel your jaw, you like your jaw, whatever it's like, it's going to sing with you. We breathe and we go, yeah, and yawn into an A, and hold it as long as your breath can. And then the last position in the face is beautiful lifting position there. So you feel more of your face singing against this. I like these exercises for singers because you can literally feel where the vibrations are. Once you're singing on stage, running around, it is very important that you have the safety. That's why all these exercises you repeat 30 times. So for the last round, yeah, there's the R vowel, and we yawn again gently into yeah, and we hold it for as long as your breath can go. Seeing that I'm giving myself the luxury of doing this session with a piano today, so that you can carry on doing your exercises and at the same time feel out of the music the tension that can be in a rest, and so that I can remind myself what the 3 critique points are that I want to talk about today. I will play you the first 3 phrases of the introduction to Tristan und Isolde. Die ersten 3 Phrasen von der Einleitung von Tristan und Isolde, damit ihr brav die Übungen weitermachen könnt, gleichzeitig zwischen den Phrasen die Spannungspausen fühlen und damit ich mich an den 3 Kritikpunkte erinnern kann. So the first critique point that I want to correct today or talk to you about, I'm open for criticism, as you can say, is my vocal didn't have enough space last week and didn't flow and sing elegantly. So you have breathed. Second critique point, I use 2 vicious weapons when I chat to you. Third point of critique, I wear too much pink. And this little introduction, even if you just have the first 3 phrases always ready in your head, I think is very helpful for training a basic body legato, which is the breath, the flowing of the breath for all music. I cannot bore you enough with this. Der Atem muss fließen. Und genau diese Musik, wenn man das erstmal intus hat, hilft auf Lebenszeit in training zu bleiben. Now, why do I wear and have in my flat too many pink objects? This is a matter of personal taste. It is a democracy, and by wearing pink I also show tolerance. I respect people who prefer wearing just brown or just black all the time. But to me personally, ever since I turned 40, I have discovered that even a tiny splotch of pink will put the smile back on my face. So, the other reason, this is not an excuse, I'm just saying this is why I like pink too much, and there are other people who have and had a weakness for pink. So pink tragen, Zeichen von Toleranz, und das macht mich glücklich. At the same time, having said that, if you know that you are going to work with people or audition for people who hate the color pink, or whatever your favorite color is, do not wear it. The other reason my toenails are always painted pink. So if I have to hide the fact that I like pink, people who hate pink will not see that in my big ugly boots I still have pink toenails. Private jokes are very important, I think, to keep your sense of humor and your sense of realism. Now, if we may go over to ever so slightly why people like pink, why one doesn't have to have a reason. It is a matter of taste. But seeing that I like Wagner, Richard Wagner, a little bit. Ich mag den Herrn Wagner ziemlich. I think it's always good if you are being corrected to go read, gain more information, to read how other people deal with the problem or the question, what solutions, what motivations they have in their lives. So I have this little booklet, Kleine Bettlektüre für alle Richard Wagner Verehrer. A little bedside book with things about Wagner and things that Wagner wrote himself. Now, you don't have to like Wagner or be addicted to him to find the following, to allow yourself to find the following amusing. Herr Wagner, we have it in writing, actually liked the color pink. And I like proving this to everybody I meet, so here goes. In a letter to his dressmaker, ein Brief an seine Schneiderin, das liebe Fräulein Bertha, in April 1864, Herr Wagner wrote a list of demands. You cannot believe it. Exactly. Control freak for the curtains, for the morning gown he has to wear. Even, I have it in writing, that's why I have the book in front of me, so you don't all think I am crazy. Even for his Stiefel, the boots, he ordered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of boots. 6 Paar Stiefel von Fräulein Bertha, and specified very exactly the colors he wanted them to be in. Weiß, white, blau, blue, gelb, yellow, grau, gray, grün, green, and rosa, pink. So, if somebody you likes the color, it's good to know you have Verbündete. You have people who think the same. It's not always easy to find these people who think the same. So even if some of them are dead fetch yourself, build yourself a support system. So in writing is even better. And the other reason I have this little booklet ready, I was very amused. Last night I read this and I thought, no, it is too funny. I must share this with you, because we are in the times where we're all thinking and talking about social distancing. So did Mr. Wagner. He wrote in his diary that he kept for his, at the time, wife Cosima in 1865. To be a musician, dazugehört, belongs, it is important that part of your arsenal is fast gar nicht mehr mit den Leuten verkehren. To very seldom meet other human beings. Gar nicht mehr sprechen oder nur im Ernst, nie ernsthaft. To stop talking completely, or if you choose to speak, only while joking, never seriously. Obviously that is a part of what he wrote, and if you are as seriously amused as I am by the letters Mr. Wagner wrote, there you go. There are many extracts. It's amazing. I mean, Wagner didn't have a computer. Where he found the time to write these huge operas, and even the letters he wrote to people. The other thing, seeing that I like giving practical advice, is money problems. When in these times, as musicians, especially freelance musicians, everybody, whether you are very experienced as a musician or a young beginner, we all worry about where is the next money going to come from. I think it is important that we talk about the problems and questions. Problems is such a harsh word. Questions, die Dinge, über die wir gerne nachdenken. Where does the money come from? Now, why do I still have this book? If you want to amuse yourself and learn how other people asked for money, do read the letters of Richard Wagner. He managed to basically beg money from people in using language that is so poetic, but the tone quite often was, you should really be giving me money, in a very elegant fashion. So that you could also learn from Mr. Wagner. So we are about the critique and corrections. Now, I'm sure since you've been a child, everybody has bored you with, please, if you learn something new, learn it correctly, because relearning it will take decades of your life. Seit der Kindheit wissen wir eher sofort korrekt lernen, weil das Korrigieren dauert Jahrhunderte. So, to give yourself, ourselves a little suggestion of how to correct a mistake that you have learned. Let's say you were supposed to sing a major chord. Meow, 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 meow. Major chord. And instead of that, you learn major chord. Now, how do you correct this? First of all, so that we can all learn basic German, if we don't speak the language yet, I suggest we do the correction by repeating the correction many, many times on the text of major chord, dur accord, dur accord. So major chord, and the German of that is dur accord. And if you have a keyboard ready, play yourself the mistake you made before, so you can feel what you are working against. Know your enemies, then it is easier to stay away from them. So let's do a couple of. This is also for learning good German. Major chord, Dur, Akkord. Give me another one. Major chord, taking good care of the note that used to be wrong. Major chord, Dur, Akkord. Now, as human beings are very often susceptible to optical stimuli, so there are many fun ways to, in your music, write how you want to correct this. Obviously, this note was a half step too low, so standard procedure is you write a little arrow up. Been done a lot of times, but also as human beings, we don't like being criticized too often. So if you see the arrow in your music, your brain might go, what have I done wrong now? So my suggestion is to draw a little pink heart around the note, to know that you should take good care of it, and then it will love you. So we do one more to make sure you like this exercise. Major, love it, chord, Dur, Akkord. Now, seeing that I have been in the business so long, I would like to chat to you about handling criticism. And so that I don't talk crazily in 2,000 directions, I have with me an admission card to the Natal Playhouse Gala inauguration on the 12th of April 1986. Now, I started working in the opera business in December 1985, so many of the things that I have taken with me through my career absolutely were rooted in what I learned in the Natal Playhouse. The people I met there, obviously, when one is still innocent, one is more susceptible to the meanings and also the working methods of the people around you. Now, practically speaking, the reason I have this reminder, the name of the book about the opening of this playhouse is called The Long Road, and it tells about the building, the chorus rehearsals, and I'm very fortunate that the first opera house I ever worked in my life was not finished when we started rehearsing and performing. Das Opernhaus war noch nicht fertig gebaut, als wir damals anfingen, da zu proben und Vorstellungen zu machen. It's also good to think about those beginnings in these times, because we don't know exactly how we're going to be performing in future. Now, this is very important, seeing that today's theme is you get critique, you do corrections, but very important is to take the corrections with class. We remain classy. There's the water. We remain classy. Sorry for the people who don't like pink. Wir hören Kritik, wir machen Korrekturen und wir bleiben klasse, klassisch, fabulous, während wir vor Publikum agieren. I'm proud to say that when this opera house in Durban opened, the night before this big inauguration, the place wasn't finished. There was builders rubble, überall. Everywhere, Baustelle. People were working. And in those days, the whole thing, but if you want to be part of this group, keep some of that innocence and the energy. I remember cleaning toilets through the night. We all, chorus members, technicians, soloists, even the chef conductor, we all worked through the night so that the next day, mid-klasse, when all the fabulous people, the Prime Minister, his very voluptuous wife, came to the fabulous inauguration, the place looked better than the Metropolitan Opera, ready. Right behind some of the curtains, we were hiding the builder's rubble. Like when your mother comes to visit and you want to tidy up, you hide, or serious friends come, you hide it. So I think this is something to keep with you. If you are a performer, especially when you're starting out, to know what is the first optical impression you make. For example, ich finde es immer gut, dass wir reden über, wenn wir arbeiten, was ist praktisch, was ist angebracht. Always part of these sessions, I think, is to make you think a little bit about what do you wear when you audition or when you meet people that you want to work with, especially if you don't know them. Now today, I put on one of my favorite little dresses, probably some sale in Taiwan right after the tsunami hit, so I could afford it. But talking about traveling in a dress like this, you all see that this material is velvet. Wenn man mit so einem Stoff unterwegs ist, sammelt man flauschige Teilchen. If you're traveling everywhere in the world with something like this, the velvet will have fluffy bits on it all the time. And if your velvet is covered in fluff, you are not classy. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a garment with any amount of velvet in it, do not forget to have something to remove fluff with you. I like these ones. No Werbung, keine Werbung. There. And before you go into a meeting, find a mirror and check that your backside is also removed. I used to live with cats, so I couldn't even wear velvet. You do not want your last impression after an audition or a serious business meeting to be, that's the one that had cat fur all down her back. I want to consolidate today's session with one reminder of an exercise to find where does your voice sit very well. And the exercise always entails for me finding self-confidence. It's my favorite. Ich liebe mich exercise. To feel the good CH, ob man Deutsche ist oder nicht. Ein gesungenes CH hat auch da zu sein, wo er singt und nicht die Vokale stören. So back to my favorite key of A flat major. And my exercise is, I'll sit so you can see all of me. You stretch up your hands, you grab an imaginary bar, you take a good breath, and as you imagine pulling up 200 kilograms of body weight, you go, Ich liebe mich. Now that you can see was very bad. Everything was squashed. So we take this exercise. Meow, 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 meow. Take your favorite one. There's the legato reminder again. All consonants. We don't want to be spitting on anybody. Anything you spat means it's energy you didn't involve in your singing. Very serious for the health. Ich. So, the breath was bad. you breathe properly, so we just do one. Ich. Stretch, grab, breath. Ich. And as you pull down, feel opening of your chest and all the vibrations. And one more reminder of how to get the whole of the body awake. Ich liebe mich, jump. You don't do this if you have bad knees. Ich liebe mich, jump as high as you can. Ich liebe mich, balance bad. Yeah, and always at the end of any session, this is especially for people who don't like the fact that this is my favorite tool to talk to you about. You can use your salad tongs to go hoyoto ho. Now please do 50 more of those, and I'll see you again next week.